guys. Hopefully the connects are doing well, and that's why you're not in class. And I recognize that, and I recognize that this is a historic moment for Vancouver. So I don't want you to resent me and be the teacher that made you come to class tonight, so you didn't watch a historic moment for Vancouver. So I'm going to do 2 short videos to cover off the most important material for prior to the midterm, and then from what has not been covered, and then I'm going to move some slides around for the class after the midterm so that all of the material gets covered. But one of the things that I want to talk about before the midterm, because of the specific essay question, is the differences in definitions of gangs, and particularly when it comes to police officers' definitions of gangs and how that could have an impact. And we're going to specifically look at the difference between the LAPD gang homicide versus the Chicago police gang homicide definition. Okay, so police agencies throughout the United States and in Canada are constantly grappling with this issue of definition of a gang and whether or not something is a gang homicide or not. And what's interesting in the research that we look at in Chapter 22 is this longitudinal study that was done with LAPD and Los Angeles Sheriff's Department in looking at what a gang definition is. So for one, a gang member, gang homicide is defined as a gang member having a gang member on either the assailant or the victim side versus a gang motive. So what they're trying to say there is, okay, is it a gang homicide if the person who is shot and they are a gang member? So simply them being a gang member would make it a gang homicide. Others reject that concept and believe that no, it's not a gang homicide unless the reason why they were shot and murdered was to move the gang, the goals of the gang forward. Okay, so basically the violence had a purpose to serve the gang, if that makes sense. And albeit that purpose may be, not really to us seem like a real purpose, but the violence occurs and not there is some reasoning, albeit flawed in our world, for why they're conducting the violence. Lack of consensus in research regarding the optimal definition is one of the concerns here, and basically what happens is that we use this large definition of gangs and gang homicides, and there's a lot of reasons why police agencies could do that. One is for additional funding, particularly in the United States, additional access to federal funding, the fact that we can say that, hey, it's a gang homicide, and everybody says, well, I'm not in a gang, so I don't really have to be concerned. Those kinds of things. What's interesting between the difference between LAPD, LA Sheriff's Department, and Chicago is that for Chicago, in order to basically for it to be considered a gang homicide, there must be a positive evidence of relationship between the activity of the gang members, or the motive was for a gang motive. Okay, so what I'm saying is, if you had a domestic dispute in East Los Angeles, and the 2 people involved in the domestic, and which resulted in one person shooting another person. So a boyfriend and a girlfriend, they're both members of the Southside Crips. The boyfriend shoots the girlfriend, who's a member of the Southside Crips. He's a member of the Southside Crips. And that would be considered a gang homicide in Los Angeles. That same circumstance in Chicago, unless there's specific evidence as to, okay, he shot her because she was about to inform to the police about the gang, that wouldn't be a gang homicide in of itself, just because they're both gang members. that creates huge problems for us when we are looking at gang homicides, and we're trying to compare this. Once again, apples to oranges, oranges to apples, right? It's just, it creates problems for us.